Upsell and cross-sell. Let's discuss two powerful revenue-generating strategies proven to increase transactions. Are you familiar with upselling and cross-selling? When you go to McDonald's and the kid behind the counter asks if you would like your meal supersized, that's upselling. When that same kid then asks if you would like an apple pie to go with your supersized meal, that's cross-selling. Upselling means offering a higher grade, quality, or size of the item the customer may be interested in at the point when the customer is ready to buy. Cross-selling means offering other products or services which complement the item the customer is interested in at the point when the customer is ready to buy. Now, here's what most business owners don't realize. 34% of prospects will buy additional products or services at the time of their original purchase if they're asked to do so. Most businesses never ask them, and they lose out on this lucrative opportunity to dramatically increase their revenue. Let me show you a brilliant example of this. Up until about 3 years ago, most car owners on average paid around $29 to get their oil changed. Today these range from $35 to $75. Have a look at this ad recently offered by an Econo Lube. So why do they offer this when they could charge more? Simple, they finally realized the power of upselling and cross-selling, and they can't get the opportunity to upsell or cross-sell if they don't get themselves in front of their prospects. This ad is designed for one purpose only: to get them in front of as many prospects as possible, and the best way to do that is to give them what are drastically reduced services. But here's what most businesses don't understand about this strategy. This Econo Lube is likely breaking even by offering this rate. That $24 covers their material and labor costs. They know they make most of their profit through their higher dollar service offerings, like batteries, brakes, transmission services, and repairs. So, after the technician changes your oil, they're going to take all your tires off so they can inspect your brakes and cross-sell you a brake job. Since they must remove all your tires to do that, why not offer you free tire rotation and a free brake inspection? Most of their patrons have no idea they're going to do this anyway, so they have this perception they're receiving all these services that they normally must pay to have done for free. So, the key takeaway here for this strategy is to get yourself in front of your prospects as often as you can so you give yourself opportunities to sell them more. Let me show you how this exact same strategy will work for a dentist. Obviously, a dentist is about as far from an Econo Lube as you can get, but the principle is identical. Get in front of prospects and upsell/cross-sell them. A dentist offers basic dental services like exams and teeth cleaning. That is not where they make their money. A dentist generates most of their revenue from cosmetic services, root canals, crowns, fillings, and braces. So obviously, the more patients they can get in front of, the more of these services they sell. The problem for dentists is that most people already have a dentist, and 90% of them will never change unless their dentist retires. So, what might convince someone to leave their current dentist? Consider these stats. About 80% of the population have medical insurance, but only 50% have dental insurance. Among those without dental insurance, 44% said that was the main reason they didn't visit the dentist. See an opportunity here if you're a dentist? What do you think might happen if a dentist specifically targeted families without dental insurance and offered them virtually the exact same services as those with dental insurance, but without paying the expensive monthly premiums? Here's a marketing campaign designed to do this. This obviously exploded this dentist's practice, but you might be thinking, how could he afford to offer this type of program? Same way the Econo Lube did. The dentist basically offered patients routine services at his cost. That $25 covered the labor cost for the dental technician to take x-rays and clean the patient's teeth. But the dentist now had double the patients to upsell and cross-sell their more expensive and profitable services to. And of course, any business can always resort to the standard way to upsell and cross-sell customers: just make them more offers. A restaurant experiencing reduced revenue followed this advice. They analyzed their profit margins on every one of their offerings and determined their highest profit margin offerings were wine, appetizers, and desserts. They doubled their sales on all three of these by training the staff to offer them to every one of their patrons. For example, they instructed their staff to bring an appetizer and wine cart to each table before the patrons ordered and offer free individual samples. Then, the staff repeated the same process at the end of each patron's meal by bringing the dessert cart around and giving a free sample of each dessert to everyone at the table to entice patrons to order one of them. The taste and reciprocity instantly doubled their appetizer, wine, and dessert sales. But they didn't stop there. The restaurant dramatically increased its total order revenue by implementing an initial order upsell strategy with the staff. They trained the servers to describe the more expensive entrees on the menu and give the patrons their personal recommendation. Most patrons tend to go with the server's recommendations, and this easily increased their total entree revenue by 15%. So, let's assign a revenue figure for this strategy to your business. Remember, even a mediocre business can expect to see a 34% revenue increase by implementing this strategy. But since we want to be extremely conservative in our estimates, let's just factor in a 10% increase for your business. What's 10% of your annual revenue? That's what you could add to the bottom line of your business immediately using this strategy.